Hi, my name is Luke. Welcome back to another video on this channel. Today we are going to build a simple one candle scalping strategy that focuses on trading the New York session. This will be another breakout strategy, but this time we won't trade the breakout immediately. Instead, we will wait for a breakout plus a retracement back to either the range high or low, depending on which side price is broken out of. So let me give you a quick example before we code the EA. So if price breaks the high of the range, we then wait for the price to retrace back down to the high of the range, and then we enter a buy position. And if price breaks the low of the range, we wait for the price to retrace back up to the low of the range, and then we enter a sell position. This is a very quick and easy EA to build, and we will be using pending orders for our entries after the breakout happens. We will have a stop loss and take profit, and also a function to delete the pending order if there's no retracement back into the zone. Okay, so now the explanation is out of the way. Let's jump straight into the IDE, the Integrated Development Environment here in MetaTrader 5. What we want to do now is click on New, create new expert advisor, and then we need to give it a name. I'll call mine one candle scalping strategy. Obviously you may name yours whatever you like. Once you've done that, we click next, and finish. Let's now clean up the template by removing the comment lines, and also I like to rearrange my curly brackets. Okay, so first of all, we need to find the first candle after the opening of the US markets. We can trade this strategy on any time frame. Let's quickly create an input for this. So we say time frame, and let's make it period M15 by default. Then in the onTick function, we want to make sure that we calculate everything only once per 15-minute bar. So we say that we want to have the bars that are currently in the M15 timeframe chart. We will use the iBar function for this, and then we create a static variable and also initialize it with the current amount of bars in this chart. Then we check if the bars total holds a different value than the bars variable, and if this is true, then we know that we have just entered a new 15-minute bar. Then we update the total bars variable. Then the next thing we need to do is to check if the US markets have opened already. The easiest way to do this is to use the daytime structure, and then just update the hour to 16 or whatever it is for your broker. Mine is always GMT plus 2. Then we set the minutes to 30 and the seconds to 0. Then we have time US open, which is structured time. Then we can use this datetime structure, and then we can check if the current time is greater than the US open time. So once this is true, we want to check if time current is greater than time US open, plus period seconds, plus the seconds of the current time frame that we use for the strategy. When this is true, it means that the current time is greater than 1645, because in the time frame variable by default we use the M15 time frame. So if the current time of day is later than 1645, we want to calculate the high and the low of the last bar. But first of all, we need to find the actual index of this bar. So we can say index trigger bar, and this will be iBar shift. So we use the chart symbol, the time frame from the inputs, and then we use the time US open as the time. This will give us the index that we need. And then we can get the high and low of this bar. So we say I high for the current chart symbol, the time frame from the input variable, and then the shift value is the index trigger bar. Now let's get the low. This time we use I low, symbol, time frame, index trigger bar. Once we have found the high and the low of the trigger bar, we can then check if there was a close of a new candle outside of this range. We then want to place a limit order to get our entries. So what we do now is we check the close on the last bar. We get this using the iClose function. Let's just quickly change these high-low variables to trigger bar. This makes it easier to read and understand. So we get the close of the last bar, we pass the chart symbol, the time frame, and then 1 is the shift value. Then what we can do now is check if the close 1 is greater than the high trigger bar. If this is true, then we want to place a buy limit at the high of the trigger bar. And if close 1 is smaller than the low of the trigger bar, then we want to place a sell stop order. So at the top of the code, we need to include the trade.mqh file. And then we also want to create a global trade object, ctrade. Now we can say trade.buyLimit, but first we need to create another input variable for the lot size. Now we can say the volume is the lot size from the input list, and then we set the price to the high of the trigger bar. The chart symbol, And for now, we don't use the stop loss or TP. We can set these to 0. The order time is specified, and then we need to specify the expiration time. So we say date time expiration, let's say to time US open, plus period seconds multiplied by 3 hours. Obviously we can play around with this number, but for now let's just use 3 hours. Now before we send the order, we also need to check if the current time is smaller than the expiration, because otherwise it would not make sense to send the order. Now we can add this expiration variable here, and that's basically it. Now we can copy the buy limit and paste it below for the sell limit. We change it from buy limit to sell limit, and we change the high trigger bar to low trigger bar. Let's now compile and we can run a quick test to see if this is working properly. But before we test it, let's just quickly create another global variable and just say is trade day. This will be a Boolean variable, so it's either true or false. And then we can say that before we open the positions, we want to check if there was no trade on this specific day. Then once the limit order is placed, the is trade day will be set to true. Also at some point we'll need to reset this variable, so here we can say static int last trade day equals 0. And then if last trade day is unequal to the date time day of year, then the last trade day will be updated and our is trade day will be set to false. That's pretty much it. So now let's compile and go over to the MetaTrader 5 platform, click view, then strategy tester. Let's go with a visualize test. Select the file that we have just created. We can use any symbol. I will use USD JPY. We will just test the current year, and we will use the M5 chart. Even though the time frame is M15, we will still see everything that we need to see. Now let's click start and see if this is actually working. Okay, so we can see it's working. Let's go back to the code and let's add the TP and stop loss so that all the positions are eventually closed. We will place the stop loss at the other side of the opening range, and then we will have a multiplier for the TP. So let's make the TP factor an input that we can change in the settings. We will set it to a TP factor of 2R by default. And now down here, before we open the position, we can calculate the stop loss for buy positions. This will be really easy as we just set the stop loss to the low of the trigger bar. Now we can calculate the TP. We set it to the high of the trigger bar, and then the high of the trigger bar minus the low trigger bar, multiplied with the TP factor. Now in the buy limit orders, we can replace the zeros with our stop loss and take profit. We now do the same thing for the sell limits, just in the opposite way. The calculations will be a little bit different, but the logic stays the same. And then we replace the 2 zeros here with the stop loss and take profit. Let's now compile again and go back over to MetaTrader 5 and do another test to see if this is working. Before we click start, if you go to the imports, you can now see the TP factor. We will start with a TP factor of 2. Now let's click start and we should see that the program is working properly. So we can see here that we've opened a buy position and we do have a stop loss and take profit. We can see that the timing is correct and the TP is 2 times the stop loss. Now let's close this test and we can perform a longer one. Let's test it from 2020 to 2025 to see how this strategy would have performed in the long run. Okay, so now we can see that it's not looking very good. This could just be because we are trading on a relatively small time frame. So let's just try increasing the TP factor to 3 to give it more breathing room and see how it performs. And here we can see it is actually working. The performance is still not great, but it is a lot better than the previous test that we just saw. This goes to show that even minor changes can really make a difference. Now, after doing some quick testing that I didn't show here, I found out that the main reason the back test was so poor is mostly because of the sell trades. So let's just comment out these sell limits and we run the back test again. And now you can see that by removing the sell positions and only taking the buy positions, the strategy has become much more profitable. That is it for this video. If you have enjoyed this and if this video has helped you in any way, please leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. If you have any questions or recommendations for ways that we can improve this strategy, please feel free to drop a comment, and I always try my best to respond to all comments as quickly as possible. Other than that, you can reach out to me via my website. You will find a link in my channel description, and I'll also leave a link below in the video description. You can also message me on Telegram. But for now, trade safe, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.